So today, I have started off with for you to happy and laughing because my topic is happiness. So I suppose most of you come here. Just give me a second. Okay. Oh, okay. Which one? Oh, okay. Okay, okay. Okay, as today the topics that I'm going to talk about is happiness. And I suppose I say that most of you are here, you want to have happiness, that's for sure. Otherwise you won't be here. You know, Sunday is the best time for some people to go for a kind of swimming which is need 4 persons. I'm sure most of them know, you need 4 persons to do swimming. So, just one question, how many people doesn't want to have happiness? So, definitely you want happiness. So today I want to share with you about happiness, okay, and I hope, sorry if the word may be too small for you, because I try to squeeze everything in one slide. I hope that I can go through roughly all these points with you, okay. First, to define what is happiness, and then there are many types of happiness actually. Okay, it's not just only one type. So I will be give you some what are those type of happiness. And having happiness, you must accompany with right view. Okay, and then happiness, of course, will be also related to your health, and as well as your wealth. Okay, and also a good trusted friendship is also play a part in it. And also, of course, the path that to the higher happiness, because as I say, there are different types of happiness. Okay, and then you also have the happiness that accompanies together with the mindfulness. Okay, and of course, happiness in motivations, and the last one, okay, is a very interesting one. Okay, I tell you why, because after telling everything you need to know about happiness, you have to give up your happiness in order to achieve happiness. Very strange. I don't know why this Bante said that way. So you'll probably think that way. Okay, so define happiness. Many people have their own ways of defining. And if you look at this dictionary, you probably come across something like enjoying, pleasures, satisfactory, joys, greatness, cheerful, and so on. But to some, it may not be this way. I believe in few years back, we always think about people say 3C, 5C, yeah, 4C. All those C, what? Credit card, cash, all those are the C that they think is happiness. Okay, that is no doubt about it. Okay, so that's why I say there is different levels of happiness. Okay, so we don't rule out all those. To certain people, to them, I feel they feel happy about it. But we have to know the different levels of happiness that we are talking about. So what are the different levels of happiness? The first one is the worldly happiness. And in below there, I put out temporary happiness because this kind of worldly happiness, it won't last long. It's a temporary. Okay, so it's called temporary happiness. Another type of one, number 2, is unworldly happiness, which being who have cultivate and they have some virtues and so on and so forth, or people who have do a lot of generosity, charity and so on, they might be reborn in a heaven state. Okay, and it's surprising that you see below, I put there also temporary. Okay, because some people think that by going heaven is forever, but in Buddhist teachings, it's not, because the lifespan is very long. Okay, but they still subject to old age, sickness, and death, which means when the year expire, okay, and then they have to rebirth again. Okay, when they rebirth, if they still have accumulated a lot of good deeds, they might still reborn in heaven, or they may even born in hell or in human world, depending on whatever the karma they have. Okay, and the third one is the supreme bliss of happiness, which is, of course, means to achieve or attain nibbana, and that one will be definitely permanent happiness. Okay, so this will be roughly, I will be covering all these three types of happiness. But first, I start off with one sutta called Anguttara Nikaya. Okay, it's a book of 4, Sutta 62. In these suttas, it's a householders. Okay, where Buddha say there are 4 kinds of happiness that may be achieved by a lay person who enjoys sensual pleasures, and depending on time and occasions. And what are the 4? The first one, he say, happiness of ownership. Okay. And the second is the happiness of enjoyments. And the third, the happiness of freedoms from death. And the fourth, the happiness of brainlessness. So you can see during Buddha times, the lay peoples were still also seeking for happiness. And Buddha do, in fact, teach them about the searching for happiness as a lay life, okay, as a householder. So it doesn't mean that being as a lay Buddhist yourself, you cannot seek for happiness. That's not true. Okay? Because I know that most of the time you'll hear somebody say, why Buddhists always talk about dukkha, suffering, suffering, suffering. But they actually have the wrong information about the dukkha and suffering. Okay? If I have some little time later, I will tell you the actual meaning of the dukkha. Okay, let's go back and what's the meaning of the happiness of ownerships? Which means acquire wealth by your own efforts or blood and sweat, and that means righteous gains. Okay, and you have a decent job, and then you have acquired all this. So this is one form of the happiness of ownerships. Okay, which majorities of us, of course, in Singapore we are, or most of them are having all this. Okay, and number 2 is the happiness of enjoyments. Of course, after you have some wealth, okay, you would do some meritorious deeds, such as dana, generosity, and charity, and so on. It's a form of giving. Giving, so you have the kind of joy and happiness of sharing with somebody, and it also have the kind of impacts of reduce your greed and attachment. Okay, because if you have a greed and very strong attachment, you are willing to share with people. So by giving out, you're actually trying to slowly bit by bit of reducing your greed and attachment. And there's a form of kind of happiness. Okay, if you don't believe in that by giving is happiness, have you ever seen people give cup in Cao Cao? Unhappy. Unlikely, usually unlikely. Okay, unless it's the situation turned into the other way around. Because why? For example, that people happily want to offer something, and somebody says something and hurt you. That's possible. But usually, normally you give. Usually, it's always be happy. There is a conditions, 3 conditions of before giving. You have the joys of thinking of giving, and the second condition is at the times of giving, the joys of giving, and after that, the third is the giving. After giving, you feel the joy. When you have these 3 conditions, your giving is fulfilled. Yes, very, very powerful. Okay, the third one is the happiness of freedom from debt. Okay, he don't have any debt. You see, if you have debt, then things you find that you live your life quite miserable. How to meet your the end meet, and then you have to. And most of them probably won't be here today because you will probably have 3 jobs, 4 jobs, including working on Sunday. Am I correct? So I can say consider most of you lucky here. Okay, you probably don't have so much debt lah. Maybe in HDB flat you still owing your installment or your car installment. That's correct. That's fine, but be contented lah, of course, because if you have a 3-room flat or 4-room flat, by going and buy one big condo and then you're still struggling, that will be another story. Okay. Okay. There is a joke actually, just to share with you. I heard someone say that they can afford buy one a big luxury landed property, but they don't have chance to stay in. And who stay there? The maid. Yeah, so that is very interesting anyway. So number 4, the happiness of brainlessness. Okay, and that way brainless means through your body, the verbal and mental actions. You see, if you are a person who are very so-called very pure in your own speech and thought and actions. Okay, you are very humble and you're harmless kind of persons. Normally, the thought and speech, the way coming to you, most people will like you. Yeah, okay, and nobody will talk back about you. That's for sure. So this is one of the things. So having these 4 points, I can show you if you live this way, your life will be achieve more happiness. Okay. So if it's sometime some of you will feel that you are quite miserable, look back at this 4 points, whether is it some point that you have missing. Okay. Okay. So now, I will leave you to another sutta called Anguttara Nikaya, the book of 8, okay, Sutta 54. This Nagarjuna is a lay person. He have another name, Vyabhadra. Okay, so approach the Buddha, say, Bhante, we are laymen enjoying the sensuous pleasures, living at home in a house full of children. We use sandalwood from Kasi, and we wear garlands, scents, and urchins. We receive gold and silver. Here, gold and silver in those days, in now we refer to vitamin M, okay? Because now you don't call money, I don't know why you call vitamin M, okay? So let the Blessed One teach us the Dharma in a way that we lead to our welfare and happiness in this present life and in future life. Okay, there are 2 here in present. Okay, the question actually he asked is very common to us even now, right? Most of us, you probably have a family, children, and you have a job, you have all these. Okay, so you are looking for the welfare of your happiness in your present life and as well as future life. So let's see what the Buddha replied to in the first one. Okay, the name of this lay person is called Vyagapacha. Okay, so that's how Buddha replied. And he said there are 4 things, okay, that lead to your welfare, happiness, okay, in this present life. Okay, what are the 4? The first one is accomplishments in initiative. Okay, and the second one is accomplishments in protections. Number 3, good friendship. And number 4, the balanced livings. Okay, so let's look at what this. What is the meaning of this? Here, the accomplished in initiative means same thing. Earnings his living by his own efforts. Okay, yes, skillful. Okay, diligence. Okay, and of course the righteous means. Okay, so this is the first one. The second one is the protections, means after you have all these wealth, you need to learn how to guide and protect your wealth. Okay, prevent from stealing, people stealing or here probably in Singapore maybe stealing could be many meaning. Okay, sometimes if sad to say, like if among your family, sometimes if you have some people who are maybe because they are gamble and then they need the money, so they probably steal. In your own house, probably you don't have. Okay, but in those days, they are staying in those kind of village town. That's because this sutta is talking about 2,005 years ago. Okay, there is actually another part which I leave out because he was talking about went from the king. Okay, the king to take over his wealth also. Okay. So having your wealth, you also must learn how to make full use of it and guard your wealth. Okay, I happen to hear one story is someone who have wealth, but he just squander all his money away. So that is quite silly. The third one is good friendships. Okay, now here the good friendship have this kind of 4 quality. Okay, the first one is possess the faith. Okay, the virtuous behavior, that means a virtue, you have virtues and generosity and wisdom. Okay, so depend the point of view of your classify your own friendship. Okay, and Buddha classify is the kind of friendship that at least you have this kind of 4 quality. Okay, he have the faith. Okay, If you probably you want to ask me what is the faith? Faith here referring to the confidence and faith in the triple gems, the Buddha, Dhamma, and the Sangha. Okay. And the virtue, of course, he observed the precept. At least the layperson, the 5 precepts. Okay. And doing dana, generosity, charity, and wisdoms. I will show you this later. Okay. Because this part is very interesting regarding about wisdom connected to what we are talking about meditations. Okay. And then number 4 is the balance of living. Okay, know his income, expenditures, leader. You know what you mean by balance here? Here means that surprising in those days and now also the same thing. Some people earn 1,000, he spend 2,000. Yes. So the balanced life here means is you must learn how to know assess your own income. Okay, the incomes that you have, certain amount of expenditures, amount for savings, amount of spending, and so on. But some people they earn maybe 1,000, but they spend 1,100. Okay, so at the end they end up what they have debt also. So they struggling. Okay, but then there is another cases where people earn 1,000, they only spend 100, very stingy. That is another extreme. So this is also what Buddha taught. You shouldn't be either this way. Okay, just know what's sufficient, how much you need to spend, how much you need to save, how much you need to do investment, and so on. Okay. And below that, you look at I have a word which is in the red color. Okay, this is I want to show you is that even though you observe these few points, it's a worldly happiness and still. It's still a temporary happiness you achieve. Okay? So, as I was saying just now, Buddha talked about first 4 is the present one. This 4 is the future. Okay? The accomplished in faith, accomplished in the virtues, accomplished in generosity, okay? Accomplished in wisdom. Okay? So the last one, the last part that I want to emphasize here is he is wise, possess the wisdom that discern, arising and passing away, which is normal and penetrative and lead to the complete destruction of suffering. This is how Buddha classified as a wisdom. And this 4 points, take note of it. Most of the time when Buddha give to the discourses to the laypersons, he emphasized so much about this 4 points. First, you must have confident faith. Okay. Then second, you observe the precept virtues, and then doing your generosity, giving, and last one, the wisdom. Okay. And again, just to classify with you, okay, these 3, the first 3, is still worldly happiness. This is also very temporary. Okay. But however, below I put another having dreams, okay, because some of you who have performed all this quality, when you pass away, you probably may born in a heaven world. So in this case, it's still a temporary, okay, because of your good deed that you have done. But the last one, the number 4, accomplished in wisdom, okay, is meant for supreme bliss of happiness, Nibbana. Okay, it's a very permanent one. Okay, now I just want to elaborate a little bit here about this one. Okay, you see the word, he possesses the wisdom that discerns arising and passing away, which means Buddha is talking about the insight meditations. Through many insight meditations, only then you can be able to see the arising and disappearing. Okay. And as you go further and penetrate and lead to your destruction, which eradicate all the 3 evil roots, that is your greed, hatred, ill views, ignorance. Okay, these are the 3 poisons, and then you be able to attain to achieve to Nibbana. That lead to me one question is, giving 4 points, but the last point, wisdom. Why Buddha was so direct to you that just possess the wisdom that discerning to arising and passing away? Okay, eventually, of course, there will be probably could be your final achievement that you will be achieving too. So therefore, when we are practicing insight meditations, we are coming to actually to this point here, risings and passing away. Okay, discerning the passings and rising away. In your present cases, this can be practiced in daily life as well, because based on the Mahasatipatthana Sutta, okay, Buddha had given this kind of discourses for meditation, which is insight meditations that to be practiced in daily life, in presence. Okay, just to show you, okay, what I mean is, I believe you have been sitting here more than half an hour. Do you realize that you have been moving your body quite a number of time? Correct now? Yes. But if I don't tell you, I think you don't believe that you're moving. Why you try to change your body movement? Why? Supposing, let's say you sit like that, then after for some time you feel need to adjust and sit this way, and after adjust this way, or maybe just stretch your leg here and there. Why do you think so? Yeah, you have discomfort. Okay, you have discomfort. That means you have displeasure feeling. This displeasure feeling is your ill will. Okay, dislike, ill will, dislike. So you are actually experiencing it, but you are not aware. Okay, so you don't have to be far to point up to you that you actually experience this until you sit like. Then, because of this, you want to seek comfort, so you just adjust and move your body a little bit, change. That is because you are, why? Attaching to comfort. You are seeking for comfort. So that's why you just need to adjust and make. So what I'm trying to tell you is, on that spot, you actually experience ill will and attachment. Okay, only things that you don't really see unless you do to insight meditations, then you can see them. But what you didn't notice is that even it will change your postures too many times. You didn't realize that even in these postures that you sit like that, you feel very comfortable, and then you found its discomfort, you change to these postures, at the end you still found discomfort. What does it tell you? Yes, impermanent. Okay? But because you think you want to have a permanent happiness, by just stripping here, it gives you a short term of release, and after that you still have to change. Okay? And this whole moment of changing here and there requires to have what? Insight, to be able to see the arisings and this passing away. Without doing that, you won't be able to see that. Okay? So this is just an idea to give you. And because of that, that's why you need to have a right view. Okay? And this I bring you to one sutta in Anguttara Nikaya. Okay? That is the book of one, which is sutta. Okay? Now, this is what Buddha says, Bhikkhu, for the persons of wrong view, whatever bodily karmas, verbal karmas, and mental karmas, he instigate and undertake in according with that view. And whatever his volitions, your inclinations and volitional activities, all lead to what is unwished for, undesired, and disagreeable, to be harmful and suffering. Why? Because you have the wrong view. Okay? So you will be asking about happiness. Those kind of happiness that I mentioned the least. If you have the right view, okay, then you achieve your happiness. But once you have the wrong view, okay, then of course you won't have achieved any kind of happiness. So for you, if you wish for happiness, right view plays a very important role. Because I tell you why, in Buddhism, the right understanding, right attitude comes first, plays a very important role in your spiritual life. Anything comes first that is wrong, the whole life that whatever you do, you won't get it right. I'll give you an example. Supposing you decided to set out a business, okay? Having business you want to set up, you must first have the right attitude, a total attitude. You need to do a lot of so-called research and investment and so forth. Like this. Whatever you need to do, you have all this. Okay, then only follow. You found that thing will take place. But the first step is wrong. I can tell everything went wrong. Same thing. If you have wrong thinkings, whatever you do, unfortunately, all will turn up bad. Okay, so having a right attitudes and right understanding from the first step is very important. If you look at the Four Noble Truths, that is Eightfold Path. The Eightfold Path, the first one, right understanding. Why come first? You need to have right understanding, then why the following all will come right. If your understanding is wrong, everything all went wrong. That's for sure. Okay? So in life it's also the same thing. In our spiritual life, even in your mundane life, also the same thing. Sometimes your attitude thinking is wrong. That's why whatever you come out is wrong. Okay? So therefore, right view and right understanding plays very important. Okay? And here I bring you to another sutta. Okay, so Anguttara Nikaya, chapter 10, the book of 10, sutta 65. On one occasion, a wanderer, okay, that is Sammadakkhani, approached the Venerable Sariputta and said to Venerable Sariputta, and he was asking what is happiness and what is suffering. And Sariputta replied, rebirth, friend, is suffering. Okay, no rebirth is happiness. Now what it means here is that when we are talking rebirth, this suffering is because you have to expect all these cold, heat, hunger, thirst, okay, all these kind of things you will be expecting. And that's why it brings you to suffering. Okay? And if you don't have all this, of course, it will bring you to happiness. Okay? That will bring you to happiness. Basically, to tell you that when we are born here, we are, like it or not, we are going to face some form of discomfort or suffering. Okay? And one of the reasons you want to become a Buddhist because you know that it's a suffering, you want to get out of the suffering. But you must know the right way, again, the right understanding of getting out of the suffering. Okay, what is the real cause of it? Okay, when there is a birth, you have the old age, you have sickness, and then you will die. Okay. If you look at the life history of the Buddha, okay, which you notice that he lived a very luxury life as a prince in a palace, okay, but he hardly got a chance to go outside the palace, okay. So when one day, he tried to stow away, and then he came across, first one is the old man, then sick man, and a dead, and then a recruit. Okay. Now, when he see all this, he realized that he himself one day will also get old, one day will be sick, and one day he have to die. Okay. So he have worry. If I one day also go under that, can I get out of this? Can I get out of all this old age and death? And he saw the recruit means is a man who practicing. So he think that will be the answer. So he decided to renounce the world. And he, of course, let go a long story, which I only want to bring you the important point here. Okay, I won't go into detail. What I'm trying to say is that Buddha renounced the world because of this whole thing. And in one of the sutta, Buddha said, the Buddha appeared in this world because there is an old age, sickness, and death. Without old age and death, the Buddha won't be appearing. And what caused the old age and death? Because of greed, hate, craving, attachment, ill will, hatred, and ignorance. These are the cause. So he take out meditation, he practice, and so on and so on, until one day he really eradicate. Okay, he eradicates. Okay, and he meditate to 12 links, the depending originations. So we just roughly tell you that, okay, He seek for more higher happiness. He, as a prince, live a very luxury life, enjoying. Okay, in fact, before he left at night, okay, his wife already giving birth to a baby boy called Rahula. Okay, he could have everything. Okay, that probably to lay people is really a happiness, but he seek more than that higher happiness. Okay, so the Bo-Bling-Vichu, one of the very well popular Dhammapada verses by the Buddha, that is, health is the greatest gift. Contentment is the greatest wealth. A trusted friend is the best relative. Nibbana is the greater bliss. Okay? This is Dhammapada verses 204. I will break out word by words to explain to you. Health is a greater gift. I'm sure everybody here will agree, because especially in Singapore, I heard that the fee of the health is very expensive. So we have a very famous word in Hokkien, say, "A sai si be sai bang." So better take good care of you. But on the other hand, let me tell you, your health needs you for your spiritual life. Because if you are sick, it's very difficult for you to practice. This is a true fact. Okay. So sometimes we hear people say, hey, why don't you go practice? Oh, no, I wait until my children grow up. Okay. Then when the children grow up, no, wait until my grandchildren. Then after that, sorry, can you understand Hokkien? Which means he's only going down to the coffin, 6 feet underground. So, making so as much excuses, but at the end, but what happened is when he come to that age, he start to want to meditate or want to practice. You notice that he couldn't. Not his fault, but his physical. Not his fault, his physical. I just show you something like that. Suppose he want to do meditation, and then he found it. You know what happened? Because of his body. When your internal organ, there's a certain part which is already, more or less no good. He's had this kind of thing going on. It's not really his fault. It's not that he don't want to try this effort. He tried, but every time he like. And one of the cause they told me is the kidney. Okay? Those people who have suffered some kidney, the kidney is weak, they always feel very sleepy. Even after they wake up, they take a breakfast morning, they go and sit, they always feel like that. So it's not hot, but it's the body. So having a good health is very important, not only for yourself as a layperson, but for your spiritual life. Okay, so the bottom line is what? Start when you can. Don't wait until you grow old. True or not? Many people say, "不要緊啦，等啦，等我驚大漢了，等個等什麼？等我孫大漢了，個等個來冇好了咯." So there is a problem. Okay? Try your best. In fact, you should start together with your children. Now, let me tell you, in the West now, they are starting meditation for the young and children. You can see even for your internets. Okay? They already start this kind of program for the youngs. So I don't know about your children class you have any. It's good to let them start for 5 minutes. It's very good for them to just adapt to it. And slowly as they grow up, in the new age, then they can increase the sitting hour. So start with young, please. Health is one of the important part. To share you one thing, I tell you, in my temple here, there's one lady which is about 40. Okay, she's only keen in chanting, but she don't want to do meditations. So fine, he says okay. Sorry, I think it's age of 50, if I'm not wrong. Now, one day I was very surprising. She was very active and very healthy. You know what sickness? One of the worst sickness you have in life is what? Stroke. Yes, heart attack you just keep right? At least you say bye-bye. But stroke, you are struggling. And now she's at home now, struggling. Can no more come to temple anymore. So it's very pity. So when she in the hospital, I went to visit her. At that time, I know when you stroke with half of that, she can't talk much. But I look at her facials, I can feel what she actually have in her mind. You know what? She had 2 daughters. Okay? So I can understand that she still need to work because she need to take care of the daughter and then the house installment and all that. But looking back at that, let's say she is 50 years old, assuming everybody can live up to the age of 80, that means she still got 30 years to struggle. Do you think she worry or not? Of course she worry. She will probably think, myself just go, why for I suffer 30 years? So what I'm trying to tell you is that anything can happen to us. Any kind of sickness. By the time you think I want to practice, really very difficult, just like her case. But I give her some consolation to her. Is that anytime if you recover, please come back to temple. I welcome you. I tell her, I welcome you. But I don't know what is the condition because now she's in a home. So, life is very unpredictable. Okay, that's why it's called anicca, impermanent. So any kind of sickness come along. So that's why Buddha said health is a greater gift. It's definitely correct, right? Nobody can argue with that. But contentment is the greater wealth. Yes, you need to be contented. Okay? If you are not contented, even if you strike $1 million, I don't think you're still enough to satisfy. Yeah, especially Singapore now is getting more and more riches, looking for dollar sign. So maybe 1 million to you, maybe not enough. But you need to be contented. If you are not contented, okay. But here in this case, contented doesn't mean that you lower yourself or you try to bring up yourself. Contented, the meaning here is whatever you have at the present moment. Just be contented with it. Okay. For example, if you are affordable the 3-room flat or 4-room flat, just be contented with it. Don't try to go to condominium which you're struggling to pay your installment and so forth. Okay, there's no point. So be contented whatever you have. So when you are contented, you feel happy as well also. So there's a form of happiness. Not only just now the one that having good health is happiness, but okay, having contentment is also happiness. Okay. Being as a Buddhist, contentment is playing a very important part in your spiritual life. Live a very simple life. When you live simple life, you are very contented. Okay. Next follow is a trusted friend is the best relative. Okay. Having good friends, just now, remember Buddha said 4 quality: faith, observing the precept, doing charity dana, and then he processed some wisdom. Okay? Now, apart from that, of course, in the lay life, you still need good friends. Everybody needs friends. Okay? But let me tell you, if you got a friend which is not trusted, I don't think it's going to be very enjoying in your whole life. Okay? Some people maybe talk bad about you, okay? Backbitings and so on and so forth. In front, treat you very nice, very happy, but behind is keep on putting you. Especially in the outside world. Okay, I know you are working in the outside world, you're bound to come across some kind of colleagues like that. Okay, can't be helped. Okay, you cannot expect everybody to be your friends. Okay, but importance is you have the right friend and good friend. In this case, trusted friend also means of your spiritual friend. Buddha said, friendship, spiritual friendship, very important in your role. There is a sutta which I didn't put here. There's a sutta that Ananda told Buddha that friendship is just only part of the life. You know what Buddha replied? Said, no, Ananda, you shouldn't say that. Your friend, the spiritual friend, is your whole life. Why? Because when you get the correct friends, he had the wheels of encouraging you to do good, encourage to go into practice, encourage to do all these things, and then you learn all those good qualities from him. So it's play important in your whole life. You notice some people who mix a wrong friend, okay, maybe gambling, all those other things, bad things, it end up bad. So he ruins his whole life. So that's why having good friends is very important. I want to bring you one interesting sutta, which probably most of you never come across, but it's very relevant to the present time. Okay. And I can only summarize in just a very proverb say, bird with the same feather flock together. Very surprising. You know what Buddha said? In one of the sutta, at that time, Buddha had a lot of disciples was around. Okay? And each of the some of the disciples also have their friends, a group of, okay? For example, he will say, okay, did you see the other side? Okay, you know there is a Sariputta, and there's Mongalanda, there's Mahakassapa, okay, there's Ananda, and so on. Now you see the Sariputta, those that with him are those who love wisdom, practice. Then he say, you see that Mongalanda, which is all those group of friends with him, those people who like to practice meditations and of course get the psychic power. And then he go on and on and on until the last one, you know who? Devadatta. You say, you know Devadatta? He said, those are the evil. So when you see that, you can see what's happening in the world is also the same. Everybody got one clique, one group one. And then you study the behavior, the same pattern on. Sure one. If those people who like all these things, you know, this group people always like that one. So it's very relevant to our present life, this sutta. Okay, so that's why I say summary into a very famous proverb, say, a bird with the same feather will flock together. Okay, so having good friends, okay, is very important. The last of these Dhammapada verses is the Nibbana is the greater bliss. Okay, so for us, as a Buddhist, we try our best in this life, if we can, okay, to achieve Nibbana by eradicating all these this defilement. But of course, not everybody, okay, in this life will be able to have some achievement or attainment. So we have to be able to be realistic on that point. Okay, why? Because of your perfections. We have to cultivate 10 perfections. And the 10 perfections, meditation is also perfections. Even here you are also practicing those kind of perfections that you need to have. Where once they are fulfilled, then you have greater chances of attaining to Nibbana. Okay? So this is the path to the highest happiness. That is what I mean by the Nibbana. Okay? And the path to the higher Nibbana means the supreme bliss of happiness, which is also permanent. You will never coming back, because on this Nibbana, there's no old age, no sickness, no death. Okay? So that is. Okay? And that is where we cultivate, because we practice the Eightfold Path, the more Eightfold Path, okay, which is leading to the highest happiness, okay, without any kind of self-indulgence and also self-mortifications. To sum up these verses, the first three, again, is quite a bit worldly happiness. The health, contentment, and trusted friends. Okay? And the Nibbana is more on the supreme, okay, happiness. Okay? Now, what really prevents us from experiencing happiness is usually because of the three evil roots. Okay? We have greed, hatreds, and delusions of ignorance. Okay? And because of these, actually, these three evil roots that which are the corrodes our happiness. So I come across one article. Someone has said that amongst these three evil roots, what is the most poisonous ones? Okay, and he said that number one, a mind motivated by greed can give rise to pleasures or indifference, but it never gives rise to displeasure. Okay, read carefully the word. The second one is a mind motivated by delusions give rise to indifference, but it never gives rise to displeasure. And the third one, on the other hand, a mind that motivated by hatred always gives rise to displeasures. Okay? My answer is I don't really agree with what he totally say. Okay? Because the very fact is when there is a hatred, it is accompanied by delusions. Okay? It's because of illusions, that's why you have hatreds, you have greeds. Okay? So again, that dislike feelings that you have is actually also accompanied by what? Delusions, okay? Ignorance, liking and disliking and so on. Okay? And this only can be understood is by when you practice mindfulness meditations, you can see very clearly. Okay? You can see very clearly about this. Remember just now I was telling you that when you sit, you feel pain, and then you decide to feel sick for comfort, and then you want to move your body. Okay, so there is a dislike. When there is a dislike, okay, there is a displeasure feeling or ill will. This is accompanied by ignorance as well, because what you think that you want to have comfort, okay, but you didn't know that there is actually attachment. Because of like, there is a dislike. Because of dislike, there is a like. So actually what you're supposed to do, you must let go both of them. Then you can find peace. Okay? So let me explain to you why I don't agree with it. Is because the first question when you say a mind that motivated by greed can give rise to displeasure, okay, or indifferent, but it never gives rise to displeasure. That last part, never give rise to pleasure, I disagree. Because why? Pleasures or displeasure is the cause of the rise, also the hatreds. Okay? And then the second is a mind that motivated by delusions give rise to indifference, but it never give rise to displeasure. But the arising of displeasure is accompanied by delusions. Okay? So if these displeasures is accompanied by delusions, definitely the motivations, all these are indifference, are also delusions. On the other hand, a mind that motivated by the hatred always give rise. Thus, greed and delusions will give rise to hatred one way or another. Which means, when you have hatred, you have delusion. When you have craving, attachment, there is also a delusions. It is accompanied by both. It cannot be have one have this, one don't have. Not possible. Okay. So that is a point that actually he missed up on this, regardless about that. Okay. Now come to number 8. Okay, that is happiness and mindfulness. That's for sure. When we practice actually mindfulness meditations, one of the main important thing is to be able to see things as they are, clearly as are. Because when we don't see things clearly as, we actually have all lots of defilement and delusions. Okay, and in order to see that, we practice and develop our mindfulness sati together with clear comprehensions. Clear comprehension means that you see things all very clearly. Okay, very, very clearly. Okay. So sati, mindfulness alone is not enough. You need to have clear comprehensions together go with it. Okay, and then you can see things as they are, not as what we want it to be. Okay, and then only then you can achieve this bliss of happiness. Okay. The question now is, if there is a motivating factor for you to pursue a kind of suitable happiness, okay, between the lower happiness and the high happiness, normally which one will you want to choose? Of course, that will leave it to you. Okay, by giving up a lower happiness and you can pursue a high happiness, will you really want to do that? Okay, but if you really want, you have to start from scratch now to develop your mindfulness and clear comprehensions. Okay, which means all those parts that the lower happiness that you have, they are still happiness. They are temporarily. Okay, if you want, yes, you just carry on and do it. But if you are seeking for more spiritual, higher happiness, then you must start somewhere here. That is what I'm trying to tell you. Okay. How many want to achieve that? Put out your hand. Okay, at least go 1 or 2, 3, 4. That's good. The rest might not still want to enjoy. Okay. And this will be my final last one. After having talking from 1 to 9, and I come to here to tell you to give out your happiness. Do you feel I feel very funny? I tell you to achieve this happiness, to that happiness. At the end, I tell you, please give out your happiness, to search for happiness. No, I'm not joking, but I'm telling you the truth. Okay, by giving out, searching for happiness, you will find that you are really happy. Why? Because when you want to look for happiness, you have the desire of happiness. When you can't get it, you feel unhappy. And when you get it, you worry it lost. So, give out. Give out, then you're happy. This is true. Through meditation, you will learn it. Yes, I though it sound very funny and you know, but it's true fact. It's because of desire that we want happy. For example, just now I was saying that you sit and you feel pain, you want to move. Why? Because you want to seek for the comfort. That's why you hear and then you hear. But if you contemplate and you realize that so long I want to achieve happiness, actually the other unhappiness is over the other side. And if I want like this, that means I have something to dislike. If I dislike something, that means there's something I like. So what happened? Both of them must let go. Give up of them. When you let go of them, that is the inner peace. That is the real happiness. So I'm bringing up you from the beginning lower happiness until the final ones of the higher happiness. Okay, so I'm open to your questions. Anyone would like to achieve more lower or higher happiness, whichever.
Anyone?
Good morning, Venerable. My question is basically some understanding of terms. For example, when we talk about insight and clear comprehension, is it the same thing? That's my first question. Secondly is, when we develop insight meditation and we have some insights, would the insights that we develop be common across everyone? Which means that when I come to a certain knowledge, would that knowledge be the same for me and for you? Or is it clouded by past conditioning or perceptions? So is it a universal truth that is common to everyone? And how will I know that this is the universal truth and not clouded by my past conditioning? This question comes about because when I was at a monastery last year for 3 weeks, and the Meichis there were saying that when you meditate, the answers will come up naturally. And that's why I'm asking this question. When the answers come up naturally, how will I know that it's a universal truth? Thank you.
So there are two questions. The first question is, properly what it means is what's the difference between the mindfulness and clear comprehensions. All right. Okay. Now, the definitions of the mindfulness here means, if you look at the dictionary, okay, the Pali dictionary, the Buddhist dictionary, not those kind of normal dictionary. What it means, they have many terms. One is like recollections, remembering, and so on and so forth. Right? In our meditation practice, yes, it has all this meaning, but at the same time, it also means being in a present moment. When you're present moment, you be able to also notice all these things. That is the meaning of the mindfulness. Okay, but this kind of mindfulness is more down in depth, because average people, they still have mindfulness. Okay, every one of us have. But in your actual meditation, your mindfulness is more depth in depth, more sharp and that. But having mindfulness of that when you see the object, is not enough. Clear comprehension means see them thoroughly from the beginning to the ending, the whole things that's happening. So it comes together along with it. It cannot be alone or one. Okay. And if you meditate for some time, then of course the wisdoms arrive will tell you exactly what actually your second question is. If I meditate inside meditation, you meditate in meditations, yes, probably we will share the same kind of experience. But again, it may be varied from different peoples, because each individuals are unique themselves. Okay? But normally most of the answers are quite similar. Okay. But your question is, how do I know whether this is correct one or whether this? Let me tell you, you will know. there is a lot of differences. Okay. Give you an example, just now I was talking about when you sit and then when you feel pain and then you want to move your body. If you really contemplate enough by using your insight meditations, okay, you will realize that there is a dislike in feeling and there is a light in the feeling. Okay, and when you realize that so long as you hold on to one of them, the other one is going to be there. And by contemplate again, out of that, the wisdom tell you, two must let go. Only then you find the peace and happiness. So when you experience that, that wisdom will tell you what to do, and that is it. You yourself will know. You yourself, so you don't have to worry about it. That is the real one. To give you another experience that you have, I don't know whether how many you have tried. Sometimes, let's say you got some problem you cannot answer. Okay, go have a good sleep. Early in the morning, we wake up, let's say we wake up maybe 5, 6, you still got enough time. In your living hall, just do walking meditation. As you do walking meditation, contemplate this problem that you have. That yesterday night is still in your mind. Okay, keep on walking and contemplate. Of course, it depends on certain people, okay? It will be surprising. After that, sometimes you found your answer is there. And I can tell you, most of the time the answer is a very perfect answer, without any kind of defilement. Very beautiful, it's very, very accurate answer. No attached, no defilements. It's a correct, no, but come with wisdom. You can give a try, okay? Then you will know. So for the insight meditation, as I say, when you are really meditating, the wisdom actually will come to your mind. You will know what is correct, what is wrong. Very beautifully. So don't worry about that.
Thank you.
Because to my meditating class, most of them always ask the same questions. I told them, if you really meditate long enough, you yourself actually will know. You don't even have to double check with me. You know what is right. Very beautiful. The wisdom will definitely tell you. You yourself somehow know it. I can tell you. I share it because that is my experience, and that's I'm sharing with you. Okay, but if you can't, then let me know. Okay, who else want to ask any question? What time? After what time?
Yeah, thank you, Bante, for the very meaningful talk on happiness, which everybody wants. Okay, I got two questions. What question is on the faith? Just now you mentioned on the faith.
On what?
Faith. The Buddha's famous saying is that don't believe everything you hear. Even what I say, you don't believe. You're going to find out for yourself. So I always have this difficulty of balancing faith, which is always being taught in Buddhism, versus this don't believe what I see. So how does one balance this faith, believing in the Sangha, Dharma, and the Buddha, and yet he himself said, don't believe what you see, what you hear, find out for yourself. So how do we balance this?
Okay, you see, this is very interesting. When you really practice and you have the experience, I can tell you 100% your faith is very strong, confidence in the Buddha, in the Dharma, in the Sangha. But why is it that some people faith are very weak? Because they don't have the experience. They never experienced the Dharma. So that's why some people, even though in spite they take the 3 refuge, being as a Buddhist, they are very shaky. Anytime people just hear something, they can always swing to the other side, and then go to the other side, and then. Why? Because they didn't really experience the Dharma, don't even taste the Dharma. Okay, so in this case, what actually Buddha trying to say is, if you really taste the Dharma, you experience it. Even you don't have to say your faith of triple gem is definitely without any doubt, any questions. But when Buddha say ask you not to this and that, is before those people. I believe you know the Kalama Sutta, okay? Because in the Kalama Sutta, in that house, a lot of religion, all people pass through and then tell them, oh, mine is good, mine is this, the other are no good, and that. So they all get mixed up. And then they are all confused. So when Buddha come, Buddha tell them, don't just believe what, because even he say, Buddha never ask you straight to believe. He really want you to practice and experience it. And by through your practice, experience it, I don't have to say anything, your confidence is there. Okay. Even like, for example, when I used to teach insight meditation, I told them, you don't have to believe in what I say, but you go and practice it. Because by practices, That time, your strong faith, belief is not because of me, because of your own experience. Your strong faith. That's for sure. Okay?
Okay, my second question is on delusion.
What?
Delusion. Greed,
Okay,
hatred,
illusion.
and delusion. Greed, hatred, and delusion.
Delusion, okay.
Yeah, greed. When we are greedy, I think we can know that we are greedy very easily. See,
You know you are greed. Yes.
When we when we got hatred,
Yes.
also very easy to know that we are being angry or whatever. But when we are deluded,
Yes.
it's very difficult to know we're deluded because we think this is right. That's why
Yes.
we're deluded. But how
Correct.
do we know that we are deluded?
Delusion alone is very, very subtle.
Difficult. So how do we find out very quickly that we
Very
are
simple.
deluded?
Very simple. If you look at this greed and displeasure feeling, why did you have craving? Why do you have dislike? It's delusion. It's accompanied with delusions. Without delusions, you wouldn't have that. Don't believe, just give a deep thought in it, you see. Why you do such a thing, you feel yourself very silly. Why? Because you lack of knowledge. It's delude. See? That's why in Buddhism we emphasize wisdom so much. Okay? But most of the time, mature, you don't notice it. When you have craving or you have ill will, you didn't realize actually there is a delusion behind playing the part. Yes. Sometimes you look back, you feel silly. How silly I am. How come I can do this kind of thing? But you didn't realize actually it's my delusion because of that. That's why I have attachment. Why I say I have craving, I have ill will, and so on. But if you don't have delusion, nothing. No?
Thank you.
Okay.
Test.
Yes.
Test. Hello, Ven Raja.
Yeah.
Thank you for your sharing. I would like to ask a question about this happiness or worldly happiness.
Bowling happy, yes.
Okay. So, I myself, I put a low expectation upon myself because I want to be happy. But however, the external factor, for example, parents or boss or employer, they put high expectation on me because I have ability to do so.
Correct.
Then can you help me on how to influence them that, hey, how to influence the external factors that in order to achieve happiness does not mean that you have to work super hard, and as long as you achieve your as long as you achieve your goals, well, it's good enough. Does not need to achieve more than that until you do not have time for your own personal life. So, would you like to give some tips in a practical way? Thank you, Ven Raja.
In the first place, don't you think there's expectations? It's his expectation, that's why you feel unhappy. Yeah. So, train yourself. Don't have to try to change anybody. Yes, your parents, your boss. You change your own attitude or understanding what is happiness. Okay, and lower down your expectations. They have their own expectation. That's for sure, because they are not you. You are yourself, so you can't blame them. Okay, by changing your own attitude yourself, you reflect back to them. It will be totally quite different. Okay, so again, back to yourself is how much happiness, how much you want, is entirely to you. Remember my last one. Let's give up your happiness. Then you will feel happy. You want them to be happy, you also are suffering. You want yourself to be have their positions, you're also suffering. Expectation is there. Because to them, it's quite logical that they have kind of experience. If I'm your boss, of course I expect you to do certain thing. You have to meet my demand. That is their expectations. Right? Your job is do what you can. Your best. Produce whatever is best to him. That's all. But once you try to stretch yourself too far ahead, you're making yourself unhappy. So you have to change yourself in a different way of thinking. Remember, I say happiness must go along with the right view, understanding. Think of the other way around. Okay. Don't have to feel bad about them, because they say if a parent has expectation, the boss expectation is quite logical. Even if you yourself become a boss or you become a parent, obviously you also have some expectations to your children. Okay. Of course, if they are quite unreasonable, you can always reason up to them. But then back to you is yourself. You must learn how to change yourself attitude, thinking. Too often, actually, we have a lot of expectation. That's why we are unhappy. Frankly speaking, this is the true fact. Being as a Buddhist, yes, because we have a lot of expectation. Okay, so we are pressuring ourselves. That's why we will end up a lot of unhappiness. Okay. Okay. Yes, I think maybe I need last one with you. The time.
Good afternoon, Bante. Thank you for the very elaborating about happiness. My question is, happiness itself, to my own interpretation is still not sufficient enough, because for me, translate the happiness in Chinese is 快乐, and 快就乐完了. So to achieve so-called a more sustainable happiness, isn't it we should include, cultivate the inner peace and inner calmness, because that will help you to achieve even longer terms. If it's just to cultivate happiness, it's just another form of expectation, like you just mentioned about that, because that can cause another craving to our own self, and it can be very suffering too, if you don't get it. So just a question about, should we also cultivate at the same time the inner peace and calmness?
Yes, in fact, I did give you already. You remember my last slide? I think he didn't get the story. Give out. Yes. When I say give out, you have to cultivate, It's not say, hola, give out, hola. You won't achieve happiness, I tell you, because you're still not happy. You see? That kind of really giving out is you realize, I don't have to do all this. When I'm giving out, I feel peace and happiness. Okay. But if you think, because Ven Raja give out, but actually, still not happy. Because you need to cultivate and realize, I realize that by not searching anything, I don't have to go through all this suffering. And that is the real peace. Remember just how I said, if you go and search for happiness, okay, even if you got it, it doesn't last long. But because you want it to last long, that's why you're so happy. But when you get it, you also worry it will go away. It will disappear to you. You're also suffering. Either way you are suffering, why you holding it? Let go. Then you don't feel suffering. But majority of people doesn't know that by just letting go all these things, actually the peace of calm is there. I give you a very good example, like most Sorensinas, they are doing meditation. When you first time meditate, you see, one thing I can't sit, why? Because they think by sitting, they want this to stop. They want the thinking to stop. Because if thinking stop means good. But let me tell you, that is not correct way. Okay? Just look at it without involve your thought, without rejecting your thought, it would die off very automatically. You die off. Don't have to do anything. Just by watching. No involve, no rejecting. The reason why it doesn't stop, because you are involving. You are trying to reject it. Why? I think must stop one. Stop. So if you have this kind of thought, how to peace? Cannot. And then you have wrong thinking. Actually sitting must be empty one, No empty means cannot. That's your thinking. See? That's why you struggling. Cannot. I give you a good example. Most of them are parents. You have a little kid, okay? It's a very rainy day, cold day, and he cried for ice cream. You say, no, don't take ice cream, it's cold. Then keep on crying. The more you try to talk to him, the more he cry louder. But you aware, you just ignore him. Few minutes later, I'm so diam guai bo sia. Do you know why? Because you don't pay attention to him. He just get quiet. Because you go and disturb this thought, you must think that he must be stopped, he must be empty, I must try to reject it, then I have a peace of mind. That is what you're thinking. That is not right. Just watch without involve, without reject. Involve means what? If he's thinking, you just follow the thought. That's called involve. Rejecting means that you try to resist. I want this to stop, like don't come kacau me. Stop. That is called rejecting. No, just don't involve, reject. Just look at it. If I, that is the real peace of mind. So happiness is the same. See or not? Okay, I think it's a time up. 5 more minutes. He said got 5 more minutes. I'm okay, no? I'm okay because I worry that somebody might need to use the hall or you might hungry, I think. Maybe take the lunch. Okay, yes.
Venerable, I have a question regarding friendship.
Yeah.
Because just now you also quote that the Buddha mentioned to Ananda that friendship is for the whole life.
Yes, correct.
So nowadays we always talk about Kalyana Mitta, which is the spiritual friend. My question is, in this life as a Buddhist, do we have to limit our friendships as finding spiritual friends? Because, well, spiritual friends, I guess, from what I learned today is they need to know how to conduct themselves. They need to know the wisdom. They need to know how to be generous. But even if we have friends from, let's say, who are not Buddhists, they may also know how to conduct themselves, maybe not in the Buddhist term. So do we have to have a checklist? If they are not Buddhists, probably they are not a potential spiritual friend.
You don't have to classify. You don't have to classify a label there. Frankly speaking, Buddhist or not, it's just a name. Okay, Buddhist, a name is just a name. There are people who actually, even they are not Buddhist, but they are very well behaved and they are quite nice person. So it's the name you choose. It doesn't matter. You don't have to be named. I must a Buddhist. I might carry a Buddhist band or whatever. No need. There's no. Here is classified. Then this person characters. You have this quality. It's very good for you as a very spiritual friend. Okay, but of course you have another kind of friend is your outside work, working colleagues, and that is another kind of friends that we are talking about, which you may don't have this kind of quality, but you still need them because you are living in the side world together with the society. You have to be socialized and friendly with them. You cannot say, hey, you don't have this quality, you don't come near to me. Cannot. Okay? So what we refer here is more on the spiritual side. Yes, correct.
But there's another question that relating to that. So sometimes when because you also mentioned that birds of the same feathers flock together. So if you want to be wise, should we just be friends with the wise and just disregard the fool? But who are we to say that this group of friends is wiser than the other?
Or who are you? Then you yourself must be able to use your eye and watch and judge yourself. You know these people always going gambling one. Then you still want to follow? Yes, of course, if it happen to be a colleague, it's okay. Just hi, that's all. You want what I mean? Because you are living in the kind of environment where let's say, assuming you are working colleague and they are not Buddhist, they are also maybe not observing precept and all that. But you still have to be friendly with them. Just hi ho, that's all. You don't have to be very close associated with them. But on the other group, you see, they really practice, they observe precept, and then of course you will go more to that. That's for sure. Don't purposely, 不要跟gamble 不要跟做这个.
But Bante, that sometimes in life is not very easy. It's not within those two extremes. I mean, we have some friends that they have some good points, they have some bad points.
Yes.
Just because we notice their bad points, should we just leave them?
No, as I was saying, that you just can still be a friend, but you don't have to be very close associated with them. You don't have to be close, but you still can be a friend, but not necessarily to be too close to them. Yes, you have to be able to draw a line. Okay, but that boils down to actually yourself, your own self. How strong determination you are. Because if you are good in nature characters, you won't be a person so easily be influenced by them. That's for sure. You know where you stand. Yeah.
Thank you, Bhante.
Yes.
Okay. One more questions. One more last questions.
Hi, Bhante. Just to check, as you mentioned, we need to be like happy and contented. So for my case, let's say I'm working and then I'm happy with my work. Of course, I will always do my best with my work. Then because of my hard work and because I do my best, and the boss recognize it and they want to promote me, which I don't want, and I don't have a reason to reject, because I know if I accept it, I will not be happy. So this is my problem. I don't know, and whether if I don't accept, then my career will be ruined. If I accept, then I will go. I will not be happy. So maybe
Why don't you try to explain to your boss? Say, please,
I mean, if all
please, I'm quite contented. Just leave me
if
to
all
be there.
bosses are understanding
Yeah.
like you, that'll be good.
Yeah. Well, friendly thinking, I mean, that is also the answer. You have to talk to your boss. You say, just tell the boss that, can I be just what I am now? I don't want to. If your boss find your reason and then he say, okay, then you solve your problem. Okay? But what if he say no? He say that I really need to promote you because I have confident trust on you. That's why I promote you. Right? Then you have your choice. One is you take the job. 2 is resign. No, what I mean is it's true. If you really want to stay and be happy, just go it. Learn how to be able to adjust and change your perspective view. What is it that you don't want? I can tell you one thing. Because when you promote, you get more responsibility, you got more job. That is something you dislike. There is a like and dislike. There you are. You don't see it. Okay. I remember there's one restaurant, there's one guy who do a very good job. Okay, he's just only a waitress. And the boss like him, he's very hardworking. Then the boss said, I'm going to promote you. You know what happened? He left the job. I was very surprised and shocked the way he replied, Okay? So, but anyway, he chose his path. But for you, you got a choice. Okay? Just one, you just tell your boss, see whether he can accept. If he say, okay, never mind, you just be. But if the boss say that no, because I have trust, I have confidence in you. Okay, so that's why I want you to promote you to. Then you realize that you have to take out a kind of more responsibility. Then you have to learn, okay, is it the kind of responsibility that I don't want? That means there is a like and dislike. Then you have to see where is the area of your weak points. Is this there? Okay, whether you can how to overcome and your weak points, then you don't have so much unhappiness with you. It's actually in between somewhere you like and dislike. That's very, very obvious. Okay. The reason why, the guy left because he realized that once he promote, he hold more responsibility. He doesn't want. You see? And then he feel bad if he stay. Because if he stay, the boss still want him. So he left. Okay. Of course, I didn't tell you to leave. Otherwise, you go to queue up for job employment, I got problem. Maybe he should join me in my... There one no pay one, okay. Okay, I think that is the last question. Okay, so.
Thank you so much, Bhante Raj.